Hello, everybody. I'm Ilsa, and welcome back to Book Bar, and welcome to another Trope Tuesday recommendation video, where today I will be discussing books where they fake it till they make it. They fake date. And I love fake dating because the antics, the situations that they're put in is just too good sometimes. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and get started with the first one being Gridlocked and the Gridiron by Denton. I absolutely adored this. This is Lucia and Colton. And Lucia is a analyst for a football team where her fiance is the quarterback, until she finds out that her fiance is cheating on her and she loses her job because her fiance cheated on her. And you can find another analyst, you can't find another quarterback. So the team lets her go. So she ends up actually working for her ex-fiance's rivals team, like college rivals team. And that happens to be Colton, and he's the quarterback of that team. And Colton and Lucia are photographed in like a compromising position, and so they decide, let's play on this, let's fake date. So they fake date, and fake dating, of course, leads to real feelings. There's a scene on the airplane that, it is a good one. But yeah, it was fantastic. I absolutely loved it, and it's definitely one I think you should read. Next up is, this is not the book I meant to hold up, but Beauty and the Baller by Ilsa Madden-Mills. This follows Nova and Ronan, and Nova and Ronan have a one-night stand, and Ronan calls Nova by the wrong name. And now it's like a year later, and she's moved back to her small town to take care of her sister, and her sister's like a senior or junior in high school. So she's moved back to take care of her sister, and there she runs into Ronan, who she had the one-night stand with. He doesn't really remember her, but they're neighbors, and everyone in town is trying to set Ronan up with someone because he is the high school football coach, and they're winning and they're doing well, and they want him to stay in town. And so they decide to fake date to get people to stop setting him up on dates. And of course, things go from there. It was wonderful. High school, small town, football, all the fun things. Then we have Redeemed by Lauren Asher. This follows Santi and Chloe, and this is the fourth book in the Dirty Air series, which you could read them all as standalones. You get more out of it if you read them in order because you see different couples. But basically, Chloe is she is an American, and she doesn't know who her father is. So she does a DNA test, and she learns that her father lives in Italy. I think it's Italy. I'm pretty sure it's Italy. And so she goes, it could be Spain, somewhere in Europe. So she goes to the town where he lives, and she goes to his house, but she realizes there's a bunch of people there. So she decides to try to spy on him, and by spying on him, she goes to his neighbor's tree and falls out of the tree. And that happens to be Santi, who is kind of a recluse after what happened at the prologue, and she goes back to try to get her cell phone, and Maya, Santi's sister, and Noah show up, and he's like, yeah, this is my girlfriend. So they have to fake date, and it was just fun. It was emotional, it was hard-hitting, but it was also fantastic. So definitely one I think you should read. Then we have Written in the Stars by Alexandria Bellefleur. This is a sapphic fake dating romance where Elle and Darcy actually go on a date, and it does not go well at all. They are way opposites. Does not go well. My favorite part of this book is the fact that I think it's Elle is really into horoscopes and things, and one of the things she does is make lists for different horoscopes, and she says that Pisces Christmas song is Last Christmas, and I'm a Pisces, and Last Christmas is my favorite Christmas song. So yeah, but basically Elle and Darcy, they go on this date, and it's horrible, but then they decide they need to just fake date for a while, and things go from there. Of course, how many times am I going to say things go from there, or fake dating leads to real feelings, because I feel like I don't have anything else I know what to say. Next up is Glimmers of You by Cowles. This is the third book in the Lost and Found series. This follows Gray and Caden, and Gray is the little sister of, she's the youngest and the little sister of all of the Hartley fam. And she I don't remember exactly why, but she ends up fake dating her brother's best friend, Caden. And I don't remember, I think she has a stalker. And so, that sounds about right for a Catherine Cowles book. Even if it's not right, it's probably right. And so she fake dates Caden to try to, get the stalker away. And it was absolutely wonderful. I loved it. Of course, I love these all. So why they're on this list. Then we have a very unpopular opinion on a book that I loved that a lot of people don't love. Faked by Karla Sorensen. This is the second book in the Ward Sisters, the 4 books in the Ward Sisters series. This is a spinoff of the Washington Wolf series, and this follows Claire, who's one of the twins, and Bauer. And Claire pretends to be her sister Leah for an event to go with Bauer's brother because she's had a crush on Bauer's brother forever. Well, so it turns out Bauer's the one that shows up, and they realize that maybe they need to fake date to make other people jealous, and of course, fake dating, real feelings. You know the drill. Then we have the book I meant to pick up earlier when I picked up Beating the Baller, but The Boyfriend Candidate by Ashley Winstead. This is Alexis and Logan. And Logan is I think he's running for some form of mayor or governor. He's going for Texas governor. They get caught, I don't remember what her job is, but basically they get caught in a compromising position, and a scandal could kind of ruin both of their lives and both of their careers. So they decide that, we need to fake date, we need to help our images, and so they fake date until election day, which is a couple months later. So yeah, I absolutely adored this when I read it. I kind of want to reread it because I feel like I don't fully remember what happens, but I loved it when I read it. So yes, plus I just love Ashley Winstead's writing, so definitely a good one. And I need to read the first book in her contemporary romance series because her sister is the first book. So yeah, okay. Now that I've gone off on a tangent, the next book is Love Contract by Sophie Lark. This follows Theo and Sullivan, and Theo is a chef, and she's kind of working as an assistant for this guy. She was supposed to be his chef, and she ends up being more of an assistant, and she hates him. And Sullivan, or Sully, he needs to sell this big property, and he knows Theo works for this big guy, billionaire developer guy, and so he's like, you know what, I'm gonna get in with Theo, and I'm gonna convince her to date me so that I can sell him this property. And so they date. She builds up a relationship with his dad that is just so adorable. I read this for one of my new release vlogs. I'll have it up there. But of course, it's Sophie Lark, so it's going to be a favorite. Then I have Stars in Your Eyes by Casey Callender. This is a male-male romance. It's not, it's different than other male-male romances that I've read. Because it is more of just a contemporary story, and it deals a lot with trauma. All sorts, every type of trauma you could think of is in this book. And it is heartbreaking, but still really good. The audiobook is amazing because it's full cast audio. So good. This follows Logan and Maddie, and they are, Logan is kind of the good boy in Hollywood, and Maddie is the bad boy. Has major issues, drug problem, alcohol problem. And Logan is the new up-and-comer golden boy, and so they're going to be on a movie together, and they decide, to build up some good press, they are going to fake date. And yeah, one thing leads to another, the drill. Yeah, it was really good, and like I said, the audiobook is amazing. Definitely the way to read it. But yeah, then the last book in the recommendation is My Life in Shambles by Karina Halle. This is an older book. And this book is very heavy also, deals with chronic illness and all sorts of other things. But basically, Valerie has just been broken up with or cheated on or something by her fiance. And so she goes home to her small town, and she needs, like, her mom is kind of crazy, and she's like, you know what, like, her sisters were going on this trip, and she wasn't gonna go, and she's like, you know what, I'm gonna go with you guys. And they're like, while they're there, they're like, let's just say yes to everything, blah 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 blah. So she goes and she meets Podrick one night, and they're like, well, go home with him, like, it's New Year's, go home with him, start the year off right. So she does, and then he's like, the next morning he's like, hey, you want to come with me to my small little Irish town to convince my dad that we are engaged, because my dad's dying and he needs to know that, like, I found love. And she's like, sure, why not? So they go to town, like, they fake date and or fake engaged, and she falls in love with the town and his dad and everyone, and it is just absolutely wonderful. I loved it so much. It made me cry. I read this was on a 5-star predictions, and I read it for a 5-star prediction vlog. I'll have links above. But yeah, those are my 10 recommendations. Now, of course, I have 4 books in my TBR. We're just gonna get on into it. The first one is Savor by Tarah Dewitt. I need to read this, like, ASAP. I just need to do it. It's been out for a couple months now. I've read every book Tarah Dewitt's written, so I need to keep going. I'm excited for it. Then I have The Frontrunner by Elsie Savor. Pretty sure this has been on multiple recommendations. I just need to read it. We're gonna go on from that. Next is Bright Lights and Summer Nights by Singleton. I read the first book, Pretty Rings and Broken Things, I think was the first book. No, Black Ties and White Lies was the first book. This might be the 3rd book in this series. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I read Black Ties and White Lies, and I didn't love it the way other people did. I had a good time with it, but it wasn't like a new favorite, but I've heard nothing but good things about this book, so it is on my list. Then the last book is Caught on Camera by Cuerto. This is the 2nd book in the, like, Behind the Lens series. I read the 3rd book for my sports romance vlog, and I want to go back and read the other books in the series. So yeah, that is it. If you made it to the end of this video, leave me a plant emoji. And also tell me your favorite fake dating book. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff. It really helps me out. And I'll talk to you all in the next one.